It was a marketplace, market street. There were so many people in the market street. People were selling things and people were yelling. It was so noisy and it hurt my ears. It hurt my ears. So those who couldn't hear well start to hear. The sound is so loud. So when the deaf people are to be healed, I give them caution. Those who couldn't hear for their lifetime, when they start to hear, the sound is so noisy, and they feel pain in their ears. The pain is terrible. So if God doesn't work slowly, they cannot bear with the pain in their eardrums. So it was so noisy. I was wondering, why is it so noisy? Then I came close to the snack shop that my wife was running. She was selling various snacks, like tempura, and some drinks too. The food was sold too. And then, inside the shop, I saw some meat, and I felt like eating it. I felt like, eating rice and meat. I couldn't eat well before. My stomach was seriously hurt already. And my diseases were aftermath after the stomach, disease. I couldn't even dream eating meat. I could barely finish a half bowl of rice. If I ate meat, I would have my stomach upset. Even when I chew meat so many times, still I had my stomach upset once I had meat. And I had rash all over my body when I had meat, and it was itching. And I went to a doctor who had to pull what I ate with fingers from my stomach. But on that day, I felt like eating meat and rice. So I asked my wife to give me meat and rice, so she worried about me. But I said, don't worry, I like to eat them. Then I was okay. No problem. I heard others talking. They were talking beside the door, and I could hear them. I couldn't before, but I could then. But I could hear them talking. So I said, I can hear you. They knew I couldn't hear. And so they asked me what they said. What did I say? So I said, you should talk about this and that. They said, wow, you said you cannot hear, but now you see, you can hear it. I was able to hear them talking, but still I didn't know God. I didn't know God worked on me. And then I came back home. My wife came home around midnight after closing her shop. The next day, in the morning, I went to the restroom. There was a thing that I always had done. It was cleaning my ears with Q-tips. There was, pus came out from my ears. A yellow pus came out from my ears. And I had to clean them up in the morning in the restroom because the pus came out all night long when I was asleep. So I had to clean them up. I had to clean them up so that people would not recognize that I couldn't hear. I used the matchsticks to clean my ears. I put some cotton at its tip and cleaned my ears. And I inserted the cotton deep into my ears so that the pus would not come out. I had been doing it since I was 4th grader in elementary school. A crazy teacher hit me on my cheek 20 times. And then he was banned from the school after that. My eardrum was broken that way. And I cannot explain why he hit me in detail because of the time given. And then I was hit on my ears once again in my middle school days. Then I became deaf. I couldn't hear others saying. I couldn't say to others that I couldn't hear because I was ashamed. So pus came out from my ears, and it couldn't be healed in a hospital. Once it seemed okay for a while, when I got cold or fever, it came back. Sore came out again from my ears. Pus came out. Well, to get operation, it was too expensive. Back then it cost, 4 to 7 million won, or $4,000 to $7,000. It was 1960s. Yes, it was 1960s. And I also knew a guy who had an operation there. He had a hole in the back of his ear. So I saw him like that. So even if I had money, I wouldn't want to go on an operation. I didn't have money either for the operation, but I didn't want to take it either. Every day, sore came out from my ears, and even blood came out. It continued until I met God, and until I was healed. It was so painful. That day, however, no sore came out from my ears. No sore, no scrap. It was clean. I was so shocked. It was a joyful shock. How could it be? I had done it all the time since I was an elementary school student. It was clean, and I was so surprised. So I came out of the restroom and went to my room and checked my body. And I started to think, right, I walked without pain. I could hear all the noise as I entered the marketplace. I felt like eating and I ate, but my stomach didn't get upset. I could digest well. I could hear the conversation of the people well. I was reminded of all these things. I took off my clothes and checked my body. I used to have severe arthritis. After I got up, there was pus where joints were, between bones. Pus came out from my body, all over my body. My kneecap was red all the time. So I was afraid, people coming close to me and touching me. In order to be healed of it, I even ate cats. People said cats are good. So my wife went to many marketplaces looking for cats, and she cooked for me. It smelled so bad. And it was difficult to eat. I'm sorry, but I ate it. I ate it with chicken. For the moment, I felt some strength, but soon it disappeared. But it came back. But it was all gone. It was clean. Dead scabs were all over my body. There were something like, grapes were found on my neck. It felt like, grapes. But they were, all gone. They were all gone. There was nothing painful. All the things that could be noticeable outside, they were all gone. They were cleansed. Of course, the internal side of my body was cleansed too. Then I thought, science and medicine couldn't do anything with my diseases. I took all kinds of medicine, but they were useless. I took shots, but they were useless. But how could I get healed at once like this? I wasn't looking for God, but I just went to church to guide my sister. Does God truly exist? Does God that my sister was talking about truly exist? She said He is almighty. If it was not Him, who could heal my all diseases at once? I tried all things and thought of all things to doubt it. But I couldn't doubt. I tried, but I couldn't. It was not just a disease, but many diseases. Those days when I was ridiculed, and those painful days, Because I was sick, my wife ignored me and left home. But she came back because she thought I was poor. She was the last daughter among 9, brothers and sisters in her family. So when she came back, she borrowed money from them. She left home once again, and she came back a week later. Since her sisters didn't give her money, she took her sister's bracelets and wrists and necklace. When I was sick, it hurt my heart so much. Her family told my wife to divorce me, even though I was there, even though I heard them. Divorce him. How can you live with a man like him? When her family came to my house, they didn't say anything that I liked. Divorce him. You are still young. You should divorce him quickly. Back then, I had 2 daughters already. So I was so hurt in my heart. I was sick, and I was hurt in my heart. If I can get healed, I will earn much money and revenge them. I will revenge them. I gnashed my teeth so much. I will revenge. It's all because of money. I will make lots of money, and I will revenge them. There was no possibility, not even 1%, but I thought of revenge. But I was dying. I couldn't be healed. Even my 70-year-old mother told me to die for her, for good. She told me to die. Then I met God, and I was healed. I couldn't deny the fact. I tried, but I couldn't deny it. So I knelt down and cried. Oh God, you're truly alive. I couldn't help myself crying. You're truly alive. I tried to think of all other things to deny it, but I couldn't. The God who was invisible was truly alive. I couldn't deny the fact that God is alive. So I knelt down and made a confession from my heart. You are alive. Then my wife heard me from the other side of the door, and she came into the room. What did you just say? I said to her, I've been to the church, and I am healed, as you can see now. I can hear well, I can eat well, and all my skin troubles are gone. I couldn't go to public bath for 7 years. I tried once, but I was kicked out of it after people saw my skin troubles. Then I could never imagine of going to public bath. I had to heat up water and wash myself at home. I am completely healed like this. So we hugged each other and cried. And we went to Wednesday service right away. I told it to my mother. She used to pray for her children to gods and idols every day in the morning. She put on, white shoes and white clothes and prayed even in winter days after washing herself. She used to go to Buddha temple with rice to pray for her children and family. She didn't know anything about Buddha, but she went there to pray to God. She didn't know anything about it. She just wanted to pray for her family. Then after she heard that I was healed in church, she got rid of all the idols in her house. And I was told, and she said, I tried all things,